My name is Rhapsody, welcome back to SpellRogue. Gonna be playing Lapis this episode. We're gonna be doing Water B as our loadout as well, which has the signature spell Mana Inversion, flip a die upside down. It's worth noting yet again that when a die is flipped upside down, it totals 7 with both of the faces you'll see. So a 1 flips into a 6, a 2 flips into a 5, and a 3 flips into a 4. Same on the inverse of those. Okay. I'm briefly looking at the other mutation stages, like there's a single chance in hell I'm going to be casting any of them. No, thank you. Enemies start with 2 grow. So, that's really bad. The only problem is here, I am not going to get to choose not to take something like that. Okay, let's have a look. Every 5th die rolled receives Vex. It seems actually surprisingly good here for us this time. End of every 2nd turn, receive some damage. Let's take reduce non-combat healing by 70%. Enemies gain 2 grow. By the way, this is 2 power per round to the enemies. This is going to be way too absurd, way too quickly. All it takes is 1 fight getting to turn 10, and then I get thumped in the face, and I'm dead. Anyone that has a multi-attack is going to kill me. Unless I kill them on turn 1. Irrecoverable. Reduce non-combat healing by 70%. Relatively easy to deal with that. Start with 50% less max HP. Sure, why not? Adaptation. For each boss defeated, all enemies start with +1 power, and we've got Tempest as well at the end of every 2nd turn. Receive 4 damage. Major Vex. Every 5th die rolled receives Vex, and then finally we'll go with Obstacle. Because I don't want Escalation and Tempest atop one another. Obstacle, all enemies gain 4 block on turn 2. Starter artifact will give us a couple of choices here. Coral Crown is not here, it doesn't look like, actually. Interesting. Tidal Talisman on turn 1, roll a dice. There's also the Seashell Wand on turn 1, autocast a random spell, and finally, Glacier's Heart. Each turn, apply Glacial to a random spell. So if we play that spell first, we'll get 4 block. I do like more block, but also rolling an additional die on turn 1 is really powerful for getting that more block. I mean, I do really want to take out 2 elites this floor. We'll give it a go. There's 3 normal enemies before our first elite, so we should have some time to pick up a little bit better damage and stuff. Lesser Shambler. I can take you out this turn with a 4 and a 2. And can set up to take out the enemy next turn as well, although honestly I'm probably going to have to defend this turn, to be frank. Actually, 2 damage to the enemy. And then I've got 2 1s here, which both invert into 6s. So that's 4 damage. And another 4. We actually managed to take the enemy out, so I don't have to worry about Tempest at the end of that turn. Woohoo! Gold and Weakness Gas applies 5 weak to all enemies. Hello! Contamination. Especially considering the fact that there is a modifier at the moment that is asking me to give kill 10 enemies with poison, I believe it is. Contamination certainly looks good there. Depths of Power. Gain 3 power, but also mute Depths of Power for 3 turns. Or apply Broken, as well as give it another charge. Wow. So as long as I can generate a bunch of 1s, you can get a bunch of power out of that. Or I could just gain 5 power and be happy with that. Honestly, Depths of Power seems great here. Contamination gives us both offense and defense at the same time, as well as helps complete one of our quests, so... Oh, gonna have to go for that one. Hello, Spike Fiend. I know you're a berserker. Okay, I can get contamination on him. There you go, cop some poison. Also going to invert one of these 4s into a 3 for a little bit more blocks so that I can hit the enemy for 4 damage directly with a Frost Ray without having to worry about them dealing damage back to me. This turn would want to be very defensive. Let's get 5 block from Hydroclasp. Contaminate the enemy to lower theirs. Mana invert for another 5, and then Hydroclasp. We block for 10, including the Tempest damage and the enemy. And leave 4 poison on him. Ooh, 1 contamination this turn is already enough to prevent you from doing any damage, and then I actually can just go straight for it. Poison has killed 1 enemy. Ice Ward. Lisa needs braces. Ice Ward is an opportunity here to invest our 1s, 2s, and 3s into a ability to gain some block. And when depleted, 3 charges of Ice Ward there are, will gain another 2 die rolled. Love it. I'm glad that I get to focus on my defense a little bit here as a priority. Obviously, because I've got 50% max HP, I'm taking 4 additional damage every second turn, and I've reduced my non-combat healing by 70%. And we've got adaptation. All of these, interestingly, this is definitely intentional. A lot of these are similar in how you would have to counteract them. Like Fragile. Well, I should probably be pretty defensive so I don't worry about losing any of that max HP and possibly dying. Tempest. Well, I should probably be pretty defensive so I don't have to worry about taking that 4 damage and dying. Irrecoverable. Well, I should probably... Obstacle. What? It's going to be slightly harder to kill him on turn 2? Well, I should probably defend. It's working pretty well. That's all good. I can avoid taking any damage. No, I can't. Oof. I will be contaminating the backliner twice here, still making you double weak. Alright. But it only do 1 damage to that backline. Oh, never mind. 1 damage won't do that. I'm gonna Ice Ward 3 times at the start of this turn, using a mana inversion to turn a pawn back into a 3, rolling 2 additional die. Yep. One more mana inversion sets up a contamination. I'll be taking no damage this turn. The backline enemy is going to die to their poison next turn. All it cost was Ignite. I'm actually going to take the opportunity to weaken you. As well as add more poison, frankly. Incoming damage this turn is 13. It's actually kind of annoying. Let's start with Ice Ward 3 times. Okay. That'll do it, actually. Invert a 1 into a 6, and then I'll hit 2 contaminations on the enemy. So now they'll do 5 damage to me, 4 damage from Tempest, and the Dread Treant is ready to die next turn. I can literally just end my turn and watch it happen. Gold, the Soothing Solution. Remove all negative status effects. Poison Fling, Inundate, and Grasp Flow. Grasp Flow takes an even, gains 2 block, and then rolls an odd die in return. I can give it more charges and roll an even die. Poison Fling, deal 2 damage and apply 2 poison. When this is depleted, gain 2 toxic skin. Inundate. I am still kind of looking for defense, weirdly. But I should be looking for offense. Maybe I take Poison Fling. I mean, it'll be better than Frost Ray for us. We pick up our first shard. This shard should really determine contamination. Ice Ward rolling an additional die is also really good because Ice Ward is very easy for me to triple activate. I only put 3 die in it, I get 3 die out of it, and I get 9 block. Ooh, I love facing the Corrupt Abbot with a build like this. Because, you see, I've got weakness, which means the Corrupt Abbot is going to lose. Here's Contamination 2 times. I'll invert a 3 to get a 4. Now I have some evens, so I can just hit with even more poison. 10 poison turn 1. Ah, I see. Triple infected contamination there. That actually is going to be kind of annoying. Unless... boom! No more negative status. Okay. Remove all negative status effects does not affect our spells or our die. It just affects our body. Got it. I'm going to defend as well as I can this turn with 2 5s in Hydroclasp. How's the enemy damaging me? Oh, Tempest on top of all of the infection. Ugh. I'm just gonna keep the poison going on you. Right, the infection. Did forget about that. I always forget that Infect actually does damage at the end of each round. There's a mana inversion. Tempest is gonna try and do some damage at the end of this round. Perfect. Just enough poison to get the enemy to die to poison at the end of the round. Another spell comes out. Encase Azure, Crashing Wave, and Rainfall. I'm leaning towards a reroll on this one. I'll take it. Hello. Channel Azure and Poison Detonation, 2 of my faves. I haven't actually done a Poison Detonation build ever. I typically want the enemy to just continue being poisoned. Please, thank you very much. Ice Ward for low defense, and then Channel Azure for high defense, gaining additional foresight. That does seem like the better play here. And then I can take Poison Detonation later if it shows up. Tablet of Anger. On any spell depleted, gain a Fury. Not really going to be that relevant. I'll take the Shard. I have enough defense here that I wonder if... No, Channel Azure does want the additional charges. Because rolling the additional dice on turn 1 gives us a lot more capacity for getting our foresight started. I'm going to invest 3 of these into Ice Ward and roll 3 new die. Ooh, these ones are better. Let's go for a 4 and a 6 both into Channel Azure. And then I will contaminate the backliner. And now I'm rolling 6 die a turn. Yay! A 4 and a 6 going to Channel Azure very easily here. If I use a Poison Fling to hit the back line, you are now poisoned and will die before anything occurs from you. And then I can happily throw 3 dice into Ice Ward, rolling some new ones. All it took was a 6 hitting to finish off Channel Azure, and now I can even contaminate twice. This is the kind of reason I don't like things that limit the amount of spells I get to cast per turn. You can do so much! Right. I'll be dropping a 4 and a 5 into Channel Azure. And I can even throw a Poison Fling out there, because I don't intend to be Poison Flinging anymore this turn. I'm going to be using Contamination after this. There's our full defense, and we continue poisoning the enemy. Yeah, I feel really comfortable now. 1 and 3 goes into Ice Ward. Hopper. 5 into a Contamination. We can watch the enemy die. I have a lot of defense. At this point, I wonder if maybe I do go for the extra poison and Contamination. Wow, Toxic Vial for another 6 poison. Forbearance. On die rolls. Lower its countdown by 1. Admittedly, I roll 4 die on turn 1. And probably another 3. And then I roll 6 die on turn 2. And probably another 3. So 9 die the turn after that. Yeah, Forbearance, especially if I upgrade it to actually do damage. You know what? I'll take that over Poison Fling for right now. Hello, Carrion Abomination. It's just you and me at the moment, buddy. I can pop 3 2s into Ice Ward, reroll 3 new die. Hello. Three of you are going into Channel Azure as well for the Foresight. Then I can do 8 damage, or I can apply 3 poison. I'm gonna go with the 3 poison. Because I intend to continue applying poison. That'll be significantly better in this fashion. There we go. Pop a Forbearance out on the field. I'm gonna full defend this turn, and then also not even Ice Ward. So I'd rather keep my poison as high as I possibly can, as well as have the Foresight going. Incoming damage this turn is only 8. That's perfectly fine. 2 channel is yours. And then I can start popping Ice Wards. Let's drop 2 more contaminations on the enemy in the back line. I can hit another Channel Azure easily. And sure, might as well send a Forbearance out. I could use that Forbearance to take out any of the chumps, but I expect that that's not going to be necessary. Good opportunity to contaminate a couple times here. With 8 more damage on the Carrion, I can now watch all of them die. Hello, Noxious Ritual. I'll keep you around, just in case. Temporal Spell. When gaining block from spells, also gain a delayed block. Interestingly, that's like 6 blocks a turn, a turn for us right now, just off of Channel Azure and Ice Ward. That's pretty damn good. I also already have 2 shards this floor. How? How? Why does Ice Ward and Channel Azure both have a shard in it at the moment? And I'm getting another shard? What? I've got 3 elites this floor? Did I get a shard from an event? I have no clue what happened here, but my brain is empty. Why do I have the... Whatever. I have a bunch of shards, apparently. Let me take another one. Yeah, let's give Forbearance a chance to cast multiple times a turn. How did... I'm quite sincerely deeply confused. Oh well. That happens. Quick invert, 1, 3, and 3 in Ice Ward gives us the triple reroll. And then I've got a 4 and a 6 in Channel Azure. Quick mana inversion sets up the final Channel Azure, and locking for 25, and I'm going to be rolling 6 die next turn. Let's go. There's Forbearance. 1, 3, 3. Ice Ward. Roll 3 more die. pop a contamination on the board. In fact, 2 of them. And then I'll be ready to channel Azure. There we are. As well as drop a Forbearance out on the field. In doing so, I make sure Forbearance has the largest possible countdown when I roll 6 more die, which causes Forbearance immediately to trigger. So I don't want to end turns with Forbearance on low countdown. I really want, like, as I roll at the start of the turn, full Forbearance cast. Especially because on turn 2, I roll 6 die. That means Forbearance with 12 as its countdown cost and rolling -2 countdown per dice rolled will just cast. There's Weakness Gas. Wash away! Roll a die, gain a surge. This was my most recent Lapis build, but it's being offered to me again. And it's being offered to me again in a world where it's also really good. Like... I'll take it along with me and we'll see. Get rid of Frost Ray for some max HP. Only 2 max HP, but it's still some. Let's mana invert down so that I can go for Ice Ward first. Some additional die and gets our first Forbearance out on the field. Make sure to encase as much as I can. Sorry, not encase, channel as much as I can via the Azure. I don't want to get 2 block applied to me this turn if I can avoid it. Let's throw a Forbearance out there before I start trying to contaminate. There we go, got full 3 Foresight again. Poison growth is going to be relatively slow here, though. Only 10 damage coming in this turn. Fine. I'm going to get rid of the Vex using Ice Ward to mill that out. Actually fine with the Heart of the Forest attacking this turn specifically. We'll finish off with Forbearance. I'm fine with it attacking this turn specifically because I don't want to stun it on a turn where it's already doing something I've dealt with. It's doing 8 damage. I already block all of that in the course of a natural turn. So I might as well leave the stun for a turn when it's doing something I don't want it to do, like gaining a bunch of power. So if I contaminate with a 6 and then use a 2 to invert... Oh, this is fine, yeah. Contaminate with a 6. I I inverted 2, creating a 5 and a 1. This 5 goes into contamination, and then I can invert this 2, creating a final 6 so that I can use Forbearance one more time. Also setting up Forbearance to autocast at the start of the next turn again. Two 4s. And a 6. And I'm actually just going to go with more contamination to finish this turn out. Next turn, when Forbearance autocasts, it will secure lethal, as the poison will be enough after that. We are so unlocking that new spell. Heal 4 health, gain 50 gold, a new shard, and artifact. I don't want Dreadstone in this world. Roll +1 die each turn. On enemy death, lose a health. Shrunken Mana Stone. On turns that are even, roll an even die. That's an additional die on turn 1, which is the turn that I need it the most. Big consideration there. And then Hex Robes. Roll an additional die each turn. Each turn also enchant a random die with Vex. I'm fine with that, but admittedly, the Shrunken Mana Stone is probably going to be completely good too. That's 100 spells with a countdown socket. And Forbearance will be cast a couple of times each turn, that'll help. I really do want to shop, and there's an opportunity to take an early shop before the 2 elites. All I have to do is get through one battle before it. I'm gonna hold open my shard. I may be able to make a better decision. Okay. We're definitely using contamination as many times as capable this turn. Goes Forbearance. Annoyingly, I'm not going to be able to encase much as Azure this turn. It's only 1 Foresight. Woof. Not exactly what we wanted to see there. There we go. Let's gain some actual Foresight for a following turn. And I can even continue poisoning you. I'm double sapped and double weakened. But thankfully, this should be okay with the die that we've rolled. 2 5s into contamination to double weaken the enemy as well as poison them for 6. Then I'm looking for a 6 and then a 4 to go into Channel Azure, leaving me the ability to Ice Ward with 3 die. And we do, thankfully, roll one that will allow me to encase Azure as well. Sorry, encase. Channel Azure again. And sure, I'll throw a couple Forbearances. Thankfully, this isn't an even turn, otherwise I would be taking some damage. I'm gonna make this easier on myself by just hitting the enemy with another Forbearance and then watching them bleed out to the poison. Depths of Power! Glaciate and Arctic Pointer here. I mean, the real power of Debts of Power is that it helps me scale Forbearance up. There's a shop soon, so I don't want to spend my money. Sure, I'll take a Debts of Power. Roll a Lathspell, 1 to 3. On a spell depleted, gain an energy for this. And then when you use a Lathspell in a spell, it gains as many charges as the magnitude of the Lathspell die. You know what? We're so ahead that I'm going to take this Lathspell so I can interrogate it. What I want to interrogate in this Lathspell is if I roll a Lathspell 1 to 3 and I use that Lathspell die as the final die to deplete something, will it deplete it and then add charges, giving me the ability to deplete it again? Or will it add charges before depleting it? In which case, ooh, yucky. Let's head to the shop. Rainfall, Poisonous Bile, and Frost Core. Poison Core, turn 1, apply 4 poison to all enemies. Yes, thank you. Illimine Necklace. For each 3 attack spells, cast in a single turn, deal 10 damage to a random enemy. I mean, look. I don't actually do that. It's not really how I roll. Talisman of Suppression. Suppression? Excuse me? I do think it's worth taking the Talisman of Suspension there. I'll sell 3 spells happily by the seashore. Poisonous Bile will accept a 6 to apply 5 poison. No, I'm already really comfy. I kind of want to keep my money and just go to a shop next floor, even more giga stacked. I'm putting Wash Away in this build. It'll be good. After I get the shard for it, admittedly, but it will be good. Ooh, these 2 weakness gas potions are going to do work in this fight. I'm playing 5 weak to all enemies. Obviously, I'm not going to do it on this turn, but soon. Soon it will be time. Yeah. 2 and a 3 and a 3. Boom, Lathspell gains charge. A 4, a 5, and another 5, all in Channel Azure. We'll even throw out some contamination. Gotta keep them sticky. So unfortunately, they will all be healing a lot from the Crone of Birth, using the Crone Eye, enhancing its ability significantly. Healing them all for 12. Rude. This is definitely a Vex turn. Sorry, a Weakness Gas turn, rather. Actually, I'm going to use Wash Away as well. So a 3 and a 4 casts Wash Away, rolling an additional die and giving us a Surge. And then I'm going to put a 6 into Channel Azure, giving me 6 block, as well as applying 1 weak to all enemies, because Surge says, whenever you gain block this turn, apply 1 weak to all enemies. Then I'll triple up on Ice Ward. We roll some additional die there. I'm gonna channel even more Azure. Yeah, the enemies are pretty weak. This is a weakness gas without using a weakness gas. And then if I flip both of these upside down in mana inversion, I can actually gain my Lost Ball. That said, I'm not going to be using it this turn, as I must contaminate the enemy twice. We'll be able to determine the effect of Lost Ball this next turn. Roll a Lost Ball. There you are. Hello. So, I go. 2 and a 2 and a 2. 2 and a 2 and a 2. And then I'm going to put this 1 in the final charge in Ice Ward. It doesn't deplete. Damn. That makes Lost Ball significantly less interesting. Like, sure, yeah, if you have a build that's, you know, jumping back and forth, this is the ability to occasionally roll a 1 to 3, like, faster than other spells might generate them. But if it was capable of double triggering deplete, it would be absurdly good. Well, let's get Wash Away set up. Six into Channel Azure twice. Single 1 into Ice Ward will now give us the 3 die that I've wanted so badly. Even more Channel Azure. And because I'm already safe, I'm just gonna slow roll this one, keep my potions. Oh wow, they're not even trying to damage me this turn. I'll still be taking some damage though to the Tempest. Let's use a 5 and a 6 for both poison, and then this 6 can happily go into Forbearance. Now roll next turn, we'll cast Forbearance yet again. $18 damage lifesteal, woof. Glad I don't have to deal with that. Pop a contamination out on the field before I Ice Ward. Yeah, single 4 sets up the death on the frontliner. I can yet again start contaminating. Oh wow, if a unit dies to poison, they can still pass their Crone to a different Crone and change that Crone's effect. I've never been a huge fan of things that allow the intent system to change mid-turn. Well, mid-resolution even. There's Wash Away. I'll roll 1 with Lost Ball, why not? I can happily contaminate you. Twice. Poison's going to be more effective than just waiting for forbearance. Another 5 and 6 for continued contamination. I really do need to upgrade the amount of poison that contamination puts out there. Forbearance 2 times will be enough to take the enemy down to a limit where they will now die to their poison. That elite fight took a while, but we got through it. Branding Tonic for 3 marked on an opponent, don't really care about that. Tether Azure, as well as Poison Fling and Water Vortex. I'll reroll. Akashic Aqua. Only accepts 2 evens. Gain 8 block. But if you submit an 8 to it, you also gain 2 power. Not really relevant, to be frank. Poison Barrier, gain block, also apply poison to a random enemy. I'll take it, but it's fine. Chaos Crystal on enemy death, roll a die. No, I'll take the additional shard, thank you. Wash Away having 2 charges, as well as those costing 6, is pretty good, but I'm gonna try and shorten the length of these fights a little bit by giving Contamination 5 poison rather than 3. Ooh. Great rolls. I'm gonna throw away weakness at all the enemies here on turn 1. It'll give me a bit of time to start ramping up. Let's also throw 2 contaminations at the enemy front line. You're now doing 0 damage. And then with a mana inversion, I can get 3 into Ice Ward. Will also trigger Forbearance, allowing me to attack the back liner, setting up for an easy kill on them. That said, we're going to get less of an easy kill on them, as I'm not going to have full Foresight next turn. There goes the Forbearance for the backline. You're going to die to your poison before you can even attempt to sap me. More contamination for the front line as well. You must keep that poison with you at all times. Invert the Vexed 3 into a Vexed 4, popping it in Channel Azure, inverting a 1 that it created back up into a 6 so I can contaminate again. Yes, this is deeply impactful. In fact, I suspect I'm going to get the kill this turn. Quick mana inversion so that I can contaminate again. I can put 3 3s into Ice Ward, why not? It rolls additional die, and those additional die get my Forbearance more castable. Until it is so castable that I cast it, and the enemy dies. Depths of Power, Tether Azure, and Winter's Bite I'll take a reroll, seeing if I can find anything worthwhile. Reality Ripple, reroll all other die. That's a really easy way to trigger... So far in this build, just Forbearance. Toxic Mist, apply 2 poison to a random enemy 3 times. I can either upgrade the amount of poison it applies, or upgrade the amount of charges it has. Is that even significantly better than just the amount of poison I'm currently capable of putting out? I'm going to take Toxic Mist again, just because I don't really take it. And I feel quite confident right now. Oh, wow. Okay. Let's go 2 6s into Channel Azure. And then the Vexed 1 into Ice Ward gives us the ability to invest a 2 and a 3 as well, rolling 3 additional die. Yes, we do roll die of the right value, which is to say I'm capable of using another Channel Azure. Unfortunately, I slightly misplayed there as well, where the Channel Azure, I put a 5 in at the end of the turn. If instead I had inverted the 3 and then put the 4 that was created into Channel Azure, I would have had an additional 5 to go into Contamination. Let's get a Surge. So that every time I gain block, I'm weakening all the enemies. That's going pretty well. Ah, Ice Ward, did you have to only roll low values? Unfortunately, that's going to prevent me from using Contamination twice this turn. I'll only be able to use it once. Alright, the midline enemy is now more poisoned than they are healthy. So they're already dead. I can start focus on others. Sure, let's roll that Love Spell, why not? Two 4s into Forbearance. And then a 6 and a 5 both into Contamination. Giving me the ability to invest 3 more into Ice Ward for a reroll. That reroll generates a 1, which becomes a 6 through an inversion, allowing me to cast Forbearance on the back line, and then I can watch both of these 11 health enemies die to their 12 poison. Ooh, Presence of Mind, gain 3 Foresight. Huge. Overchill Polar-Nexus, gain a Fury for each block. I do gain a lot of block. I just don't think it's worth trying to translate that into Fury through Polar Nexus right now. I'll take it though. Oh, Jin. Oh, foolish, foolish Jin. You going down, buddy? Start off with a nice ward. Then a 6 and a 5, all into Channeling Azure. No damage for me. And in fact, I'm also going to invert 2 die and poison you twice. Now, your duplicates will spawn with poison on them, which is going to make them much easier to kill. So the frontliner is the real one. Got it. Actually, if I just weaken you enough... then I don't really need to worry. So I either wash away this turn and then use a bunch of Ice Ward, or I could just drop the weakness gas. Or I could even do both. It'll be both. Pop a 4 and a 6 into Channel Azure, downgrading what was once a 5, now into a 3 through the power of Vexes. We can Ice Ward 3 times, re-rolling, now the enemy's doing no damage. And in fact, I can generate a 4 for the final Channel Azure, and throw out even more poison. Which is important, because I know this frontline target is the real one. Again, the frontline target here is real. I'm just gonna try and ignore the duped Jin. Four and a 5 goes into Channel Azure now that I have a Surge. And then it's pretty easy to get away with investing a bunch of 1s into Ice Ward. That's a shame. All of them rolled very low. That said, putting this Lapspell 1 into Mana Inversion gives me a 6 back and doesn't even cost that charge. So now I do actually have the ability to generate the effect I was looking for, which is completing use of Channel Azure, as well as throwing out even more contamination yet again. I mean, I'll throw these into Forbearance despite the fact that it doesn't matter. And then I'll just end my turn and watch. Goodbye, Jin. Hello, additional shard. Ooh, chemical reaction. Remove X poison. Apply 2 weak for each poison removed. Well, at least it only removes X, not all. It's also Rhyme Hail if I really wanted to pivot my damage strategy. Get Polar Nexus and Rhyme Hail back in there. I'm gonna take chemical reaction, I guess. Blizzard for Hailstorm, no. Only accept a 1 to a 3. Remove 3 poison, 6 weak. Total. I don't know, that doesn't seem good. But I took Rhyme Hail recently. Harrow Mana, each turn, -1. Oh, that's a shame. Each turn, -1 to a countdown spell. All countdown spells, rather. That would make Wash Away much more castable, but the thing is, as soon as I upgrade Wash Away, it changes its own countdown value to 6, so it's already a lot more castable without that. And I tend to have excess, so yeah, I'll take the additional shard again. Alright, how deep in this fight do we have to get? 4 and a 5 into Channel Azure. Filter everything else through Ice Ward. That's about as straightforward as it possibly could be. I'll Channel Azure for the final insight, and then mana invert 2 things to gain 2 6s, and then throw both of those at the biggest enemy. Enjoy your poison. I'll do it again this turn. Let's get a 6 in Wash Away first. And then with a single mana invert, I can get another Wash Away next. Woo! I can weaken all these enemies so much. Channel Azure twice before I do so. All the enemies are 10 weak now. $12 weak. $16 weak. I gotta remember that frontliner minion is not. Frontliner minion, I was about to say, is not a minion. That frontliner is not a minion. Frontliner minion is not a minion. Well, so I do actually need to put some damage its way in order to get to watch it die. Let me go for the double. Double wash aways here. Setting up the easy ice wards. Backliner is dead now. Sure, I'll roll the Lathspell spell. Why not? Gain some additional charges, in fact, using that. So now I'll have the ability to mana invert a 6 for some more poison. 6 again. And I can mana invert 2 more times here at the very end in order to create enough mana to just force forbearance, attacking the frontliner, and then woo! Watch them all die! In a Storm, Tether Azure, and Chill Core. Chill Core gives me more of what I'm already good at. Tether is... Sure, I'll take a reroll. Why not? Toxic Knowledge. Accepts 5s and 6s. On a 6, it gets 2 additional charges, and it rerolls the die. On a 5, you gain 2 Toxic Skin, and then it also rerolls the die. Sure. Get rid of that Polar Nexus. Head to the Sanctuary, and I will give up another spell for some more max HP. Poison Barrier, I don't need any more defense. Hello, boss? Good lord. Rolling high. I'm gonna reroll this 6 to be lower, ideally. Hey, it is! Great. Let's mana invert a 5. Just want to be able to cast Ice Ward 3 times this turn. Channel Azure a couple times, and now I'm completely safe. Follow up with the Ice Ward, and now I'm even more safe than I can possibly need to be at any point. There's a 4 for channeling Azure with. 5 for contamination. And I'm just going to pre-bake some of the wash away for a later turn. I do kind of want Poison Detonation back, to be frank. Alas. Let's contaminate this frontliner a bunch of times. I'm not even going to need to wash away this turn. I'm intentionally gaining as much marked as possible. Largely just to demonstrate exactly how little it matters. To roll a last ball next turn. All of my dice lose 4 value this turn. There we go. Which does make me feel like I want to put my last ball into mana inversion so that I have an easier time inverting some of these. Let's put a 4 into Channel Azure, a 2 into Wash Away. I'll put the 6 that rerolls immediately back in. Channel Azure 2 more times with my remaining 4s. And it's just 1s in Ice Ward, baby! The enemies are so weak. Ideally, I want the enemies to be attacking every turn, because that's never really still going to threaten me. Throw another 2 6s into Forbearance. Which actually, if I... Will this poison force you to change to a completely new intent before you actually activate? Yep. Alright, let's start washing away again with all these 6s I rolled. Getting close to being able to cast Last Spell again. A 4, a 6, and then finally a 4 in Channel Azure. Now I can roll that Last Spell. Said I'll wait until after I Ice Ward 3 times so I know what I'm working with here. And some 6s out onto the battlefield, and admittedly the rest is just exhausting my final spells. Okay, the frontliner is now just going to die to the remainder of their poison, so I should focus on the backliner. Including channeling some Azure. Contaminating as well. Miss exactly the remaining die for an Ice Ward reroll. Get that invert to gain a 6. Throw that into Encase in 0 as well. I suspect... Yeah, I'm not going to take any damage this turn because the frontline enemy is going to die, and then the second is going to be stunned, courtesy of that frontliner dying. And now I will need to focus a little bit on defense, but it's not going to be too hard to do so. Pop this 1 into mana inversion, inverting it into a 6 to pop in Wash Away. Another 6 in Wash Away. And then I'll invert a 4 down so that I can use Ice Ward 3 times and get my reroll as well. Oh, that's great. That'll be the ability to finish channeling Azure as well as contaminate the enemy. Enemy completely changes what they were going to do that turn by having enough poison that they change their state from darkness to brilliance. Oh boy, I'm going to have to focus actually very heavily on defense here. Let's get all of our surge at the start of the turn this time. Although the enemy is going to be back on the darkness state by the end of the turn, so it really don't matter anyway. Let's complete channeling Azure, which then gives me my last spell back. Which will make it easier to continue contaminating the enemy. Get another 6 at the end here. Boom. Forbearance as well. I have exactly as much potential to generate die as I do spells. Forbearance at the start of this turn will hit the enemy for enough for them to now die to the poison, so I'm just going to let that happen. Staff of Splintering, the first 3 rolled each turn, is split into 3 1s. That's actually really good for me. That's easy Ice Ward cast. There's also Exuberant Wand, cast 12 spells, roll a die. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, I actually cast 12 spells. This is kind of roll 3 die. Roll 2 more die, I guess. This just rolls additional die for us consistently, though. I think I'm leaning towards Exuberant Wand, although also Leyline Focus, roll an additional die each turn. All enemies gain 1 power. Okay. Sure. Any of these would be fine. I'm taking the Exuberant Wand. I've taken Staff of Splintering enough times as well. Exuberant Wand is similarly new as it to me. I'll take the additional slot open, and I'll put Toxic Knowledge in there. I am going to cast 100 spells with the countdown socket by the end of this. Ooh, there's a 2 Elite, 2 Event, and Shop path. That seems worthwhile. I'll be making my way there. Alright. That's a 6 that I can easily use for a wash away, and I definitely do want to this turn. Easiest way to get weakness on all of my enemies. I'm going to put the Vexed 5 into Channel Azure. Mana invert the 1 up to a 6. So that I can hit Wash Away. And I do that before I roll out Ice Ward on the field. Rolling 3 additional die for us. And also weakening the enemies significantly. Then I'll Channel Azure twice as well. And when I mana invert and cast Contamination against the healthiest enemy on the field. There we go, I get another die rolled from the Exuberant Wand. Seems good. I'm going to invert this 1 in Mana Inversion to get a 6 that I can comfortably throw into Wash Away. I'm intentionally downgrading all of these die whilst doing so. Mana Invert for another 6. So my inversions are gone, but that's okay. I do have a lot of rerolls available instead now. 2 1s and a 2 in Ice Ward is some good defense, as well as a bunch of weaken for the enemies. Let's go for a 4 in Channel Azure 3 times. We rolled an additional 6 from our Exuberant Wand, thank you. End of the turn, I can Channel Azure 1 more time, and boom. Well defended. I'm not putting a lot of damage out on the field, but I am defending a lot right now. Let's change that. There. 1 more Forbearance cast this turn kills the Wrath Voidling in the front line, so I don't have to worry about weakening that as much as I otherwise might. Roll the last spell. Alright, let's get this last spell. And I've already washed away once. I will invert that last spell to get the next 6 for continuing to wash away. 1 and a 1 and a 2 in Ice Ward for the rerolls. I'll trigger Forbearance as well, attacking the frontliner, and now the frontliner is dead. Let's also contaminate twice a target that needs some more poison on. Mana Inversion gets us a 5 for casting Channel Azure. And the next one gets us a 6 for casting Forbearance for the final time this turn. The Guardian Voidling in the back line is now going to die to its poison next turn. Perfectly, in fact. So I'll focus on the Fierce Voidling. As well as defending myself. Gotta continue washing away, you see. It's finally time to... Well, I was about to deplete Lathspall, but... not yet, if I'm going to be using another Vex die here. Let's roll that Lathspall now. Invert in mana inversion to a 6, reroll everything, or reroll 3 more with Ice Ward, rather. If I can cast Forbearance one more time this turn, that'll also get him out. Three, 6, and final 3, targeting the midliner, and then we've got 2 of the enemies dead, and no one to protect you, remaining Fierce Voidling. In fact, I'm going to skip right past needing that step and just hit you with 2 6s. That also leaves the Exuberant Wand on 11 spells cast, meaning that the next time I cast a spell at the very start of a turn, I roll an additional die. Ooh. Energizing Potion. Target spell gains 2 additional charges. There's Chill Core, Ice Blast, and Brine Bubble. I'm going to take Chill Core and then sell it in a couple spaces time. Target attack spell gains 5 damage this combat. Yep, that's going to be an important scaling tool for Forbearance in the final fight. Head to an event. I give 20 gold. I will gain Omniscience, which rerolls a 6 and also then gives us a Foresight. That costs 20 gold. I'm just going to take a split potion. Never mind, I have no room for additional potional slots. 75 gold would be the damn shield. Each turn we gain a power, but we also receive a sap. A sap. A sap. I mean... I'm gonna take it. Give me the damn shield. If I only have 1 sap each turn, but I'm gaining additional power each turn, I think I'm kind of gonna dunk all over him. Let's invert a mana inversion down. Contaminate the enemy twice as well. Get your poison going. Ice Ward is going to be so easy to activate each turn with a depleting presence. Gonna invert a 1 into a 6. Pop that and wash away. And then it's 4 and 4 and 5 into Channel Azure. Pre-prepare the wash away for the next turn. Okay, I don't need to defend this turn, so I'm not going to use even Channel Azure this turn. I just want to focus on damage. And we'll get another Forbearance out there. Oh! I see, I'm going to be damaged as well. I actually think I might need to throw the poison vial in this fight. Let's get Forbearance having more damage on. There's Wash Away number 1, Wash Away number 2. It's the enemy for 16. We'll roll a last ball. Contaminate the enemy as well. I'll invert via that last ball as well. Then pop one into Channel Azure. Two into Ice Ward. Rerolls a bunch of new die for us, including generating the ability to cast Forbearance again. I'm gonna give 2 additional charges to Channel Azure just so I can get full defense this turn. And heck, I'll even gain some Toxic Shield so you take some poison for attacking me. Can you really take a turn off attacking, please? Please. I'm going to be taking a significant amount of damage this turn, it looks like. Woof. Six and Wash Away. Reroll via last ball. That's the ability to get Ice Ward twice this turn, which usually I want to exhaust it as quickly as possible. Here I do not want to. I would like it to give me as much block as it can. Then I'll put a 6 into Toxic Knowledge, re-rolling it. I can put 2 5s in there as well. Oh, a 5. And then I'll put a 6 in, I guess. Thank you for re-rolling into a 5, I guess. Then I'll re-roll Mana Inversion back into a 6. 6 in Toxic Knowledge, and then a 5 in Toxic Knowledge. Alright, take 8 damage. Sorry, that's 8 poison specifically for attacking me. And now you'll die to poison at the end of this turn. I should cast 2 spells before I let that happen, though. Damn it. Oh, one of those spells cast another spell, and now I have to cast a bunch of spells if I want to get additional value out of this. That'll have to do. Rough fight, that one. Deluge. Oh, I could have sworn that this spell was in Lapis's toolkit. Deluge. 8 countdown, 1 time a turn, deal 4 damage to the front enemy, increase by +1 for each block. I'll take it. Life Skein. On 2 rolled, heal 1 health. Yes. That's great healing. Icicle Blade, Akashic Aqua, and Poison Spile. No. Runic Infuser. On turn 1, add 1 charge to all countdown spells. I could theoretically wash away 3 times on turn 1 if I really wanted to. Trinity Statuette for each 3/3s rolled. Roll a 1. Happy to take that. Dark Heart. Roll a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, and a 6. In that order. I mistook the effect of this. I learned what its actual effect was later on while talking to Rito. In particular, this does not need to be done in order with no other ones in between. I thought you had to roll a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 exclusively, nothing else. But no, it will just increment every time you roll the next one. I'm going to take Dark Heart. First time I've done so as well. Let's take some potions. Let's take a regeneration vial as well as weakness gas. I don't see myself using toxic knowledge legitimately. Toxic Mist is 6 to do 9 poison? That's pretty good. When I say pretty good, what I mean is in the final fight, that'll be good. Sure, I'll take Runic Confuser as well, why not? Put Toxic Mist in. Now I can cast Toxic Mist 3 times on turn 1 if I really, really, really wanted to. Okay. It begins. I'd love to start weakening the enemy, so washing away sounds good to me. Hell yeah. Roll another 6, give me the ability to just invest back in you. Let's pop a 4 and a 5, both into Channel Azure. 2 or 3, and then another 3 in Ice Ward. Will gain me a bunch of additional dice to be rolling with here. Wow! They're all basically as low as they could possibly be. Make sure I Channel Azure so I have as much... what's the word I'm looking for here? Foresight as possible. That was the word I was struggling to find. Foresight. Woof. Poison the enemy a bunch as well. Especially seems like it'll be effective here in the opening. And let's get the wash away more castable. Hell yeah, that increased castability of Wash Away is going to pay off dividend here as I invest a 5 into Wash Away and then a 6 into it as well. Perfection. Then a 5 and another 5 into Channel Azure for some block and some triggering of the surge weakness of enemies. Now we're down to using Ice Ward. Generate so many die now that I have Trinity Statuette as well as Exuberant Wand going off. Let's exhaust Channel Azure. And then by inverting a 1 into a 6 and popping that 6 into Toxic Mist, I can exhaust or deplete rather another spell, giving me the ability to roll Last Spell. That Last Spell gives me the ability to continue mana inverting more than I otherwise would have been able to, including inverting it into a Contamination, as well as leaving 2 more charges available in it to be converted into another intimidation. Sorry, contamination, rather. And then... finally a Mandarin... What? I think I inverted the wrong one there. I think I inverted a 3. I was meaning to invert a 1, which would have been an additional cast of Forbearance at the end of the turn. My enemies are doing a surprising amount of damage. Like, I'm actually not prepared for as much damage as they're... I'm gonna pop 2 3s into a wash away. And a 5 and a 1 into a wash away. And channel a whole mess of Azure. Hit him with a bunch of Ice Wards. Contaminate the enemy down to barely any damage left. Great. Invert this. Rolling an additional die, love it. And then I deplete yet another die. So last ball is ready. Well, if I roll the last ball right now, I will finish the fight, so. Good argument to take that. Gain some gold, and there's a couple things related to poison. And a couple more things related to poison. You know, all the things I sold, they're back! This seems like a good fight to pop the regeneration vial, just get back to full HP, and possibly loot a potion after completing the fight. We'll see how this turn goes as to whether or not I want to throw weakness gas at the enemy. Got 3 surge. Every time I gain block, you are going to be damned. Pop 2 3s into Ice Ward. 1 4 and then another 4 into Channel Azure. Enemy is now no longer doing damage. Another 3 goes into Ice Ward to roll a bunch more die for us. Would like to poison you a bunch, you see. So I'll do that. And then I'll heal for 5. Thank you, regeneration. I'll invert for a 6, and then roll those die again. Channel is yours, comfortable at this point also. Ice Ward, and then One more, and despite Tempest... No, never mind, I would take damage to Tempest this time. That's okay, I still intend to do more blocking. Ooh. Inverting a 3 with Lothspell in there gives us the ability to cast Channel Azure again. And then I can invert into some 6s so I can contaminate. And even throw some Forbearance out there on the field. Hit the attack spell with the additional damage, a 5 and a 1 in Wash Away, 5 and a 1 in Wash Away again, if I don't roll a 6, which I don't, so it's fine. So I'll pop a 3 and a 3 in there. Oh look, I can roll a 6. And that triggers Dark Art, so everyone has 2 marked on them now. Poison will not be affected by marked. Marked is swords damage, poison is just health loss. Very late in the turn that I actually start investing in Ice Ward. That should be more than okay. I still get to finish my Channeling of Azure. I'll roll an additional Lothspell here, even if I don't need it at all. Forbearance autocasts at the very start of the next turn. We'll take out the Orb of Infinity. With its second charge, it looks like. 5, 5, 4, take it out, and then boom. Watch it end. Last spot for another 15 damage suddenly if it's needed. I'll take a reroll here because none of those are relevant, and sure, Depths of Power, why not? Staff of Lightning on a 6 roll, deal 3 damage to all enemies. Here I will be taking my final shard. Moving to an event. Lose Presence of Mind. Oh, my potion. And gain Inscribe. Interesting. Inscribe. -2 countdown cost to another spell this combat. I could make Wash Away count cost nothing. And Forbearance. But the thing is, I already generate all the resources to do those things without having to include Inscribe. On turn 1, Inscribe would be capable of making Wash Away cost only 1, and it would even cast Wash Away for me, as it would have an additional charge with Runic Infuser. I have a shard to upgrade it. Realistically, it comes down to this. is it needed at all? Shamefully, I don't think it actually helps our build at all. I already very regularly get to the point that I'm casting everything. Inscribe is just a way to try and trigger that for a build that can't already do it itself. Lose life skein and gain a shard. So whenever I roll a 2, I will no longer heal for a single life. I mean, honestly, I don't need that at all. Lose mana inversion, no. Give additional poison to this enemy. I'm gonna disenchant Noxious Rituals. Get out of here, buddy. I don't use you. Not in this build. Just in almost every other one. I keep saying that, but most of my interactions with Noxious... what's it called again? Can't even remember. Noxious Power? Noxious Fumes? Most of my interactions with that are me turning it down because I think it's too powerful. So... I'm not sure I necessarily think it's too powerful. I think it's that it often makes me feel like I have to create one of 2 different builds. Reroll everything until the enemies die on turn 1 so I don't have to take any damage to my own poison, or reroll everything and then at the end of the turn, transfer all my poison to the enemy. And I am still trying to vary the builds. That said, how different is this build? All right. I do want to wash away. Ooh, thank you for re-rolling a 6 wash away. Love when you do that. 5 and a 1, does that count? I don't think I need any additional effects right now. Let's try another contamination. Definitely going to be channeling Azure. Also, thankfully, I've got some scaling. I've got the power, I've got the forbearance, and poison is growing turn over turn over turn. There you go. Take 20 poison. Also use the blast pot this turn. And I'll put a 1 into wash away to prepare it for next turn. 56 damage that's on that turn, and it's only going to get more at each available opportunity. So open mana inversion. Contaminate the enemy twice, and then start rolling into Ice Ward. And invert to get another wash away. Before we channel Azure, although I'll roll Laughable before that. Okay, I'm gonna mana invert this Vex twice. In doing so, I lower the other die to a 1, which I will now be able to mana invert and then throw into Toxic Mist to poison the enemy a bunch. Also roll an additional die after that, and I can invest both of those into Forbearance. Why did you have to curse me? Let's open Forbearance so that it can gain the additional damage it deserves. I don't really need to defend this turn. But I do want to roll different dice, so I'm going to invest a bunch of ones there. They roll some new ones for us. Wow. I'm going to have to use Mana Inversion a bunch of times this turn. Unfortunately, I'm not going to have the ability to use it as many times as I want. Thankfully, we will have Latspell ready for casting next turn. Annoyingly, I can't really do any more damage to the enemy this turn, but I can still gain more poison on them, which is going to be relevant, because the poison will stay for the later turns. Let's open Mana Inversion with a 1. Then invert this 3. Another Watch Away charge. Great. 2, 3, and 3 into Ice Ward. Weakens the enemy by 6 so far. Two more 4s and a 6 into Channel Azure finally. Gets us even more block. Great. Contamination twice on you too. Keep the Misty. And then my goal is to just trigger Forbearance one more time this turn, which I can do by creating 2 5s and then throwing them at the enemy. Won't even have to worry about them breaking any of my gear, as they are currently in between phases, so they do not have a status effect. Alright, Forbearance, have at it. Gospel roll is ready to go. It's not great. I can invert that to a 6. Let's get a 5 and 2 4s into Channel Azure to complete my defense and weakening of the enemy. Well, my defense, at least. I'm going to continue weakening the enemy with Contamination. I'm also going to throw a weakness gas out there because I'm currently in risk of taking damage to this enemy, and I don't want to do that. I am starting to get scared. We're getting nearer and nearer to a threshold where the enemy will just be capable of ruining me instantly. One sap a turn feels far more significant than I thought it would. My sword gives us another lats ball. Unfortunately, I can't use in anything defensive. And contaminate the enemy to weaken him again 2 more times. I'll wait for the last ball next turn, I think. Okay, the enemy is now poisoned by 100. $26 incoming. Next turn is going to be the last turn of the game, no matter what. So let's hit Presence of Mind this turn for 3 full foresight. I'll roll my last ball. Time to wash away the sin. Great. Let's mana invert for 5. Both of these can go into contamination easily. A 4 can easily gain us some block via Azure. Continue Ice Warding to weaken the enemies. In fact, I'll channel Azure 2 more times as well. Mana Inversion gets us our Toxic Mist out on the field. And Forbearance will kill the enemy at the start of the next turn. Woof! Alright. I mean, we do weaken the enemy, so I don't even know if I would survive against the 18/3 after a full turn's worth of weakens. That could have been the last available turn in the entire run for us. Very glad it worked out as well as it did. We cast 100 spells with a countdown socket. I was about to say cooldown. And then also killed 10 enemies with poison. Hit that summary. Ooh. 8 shards. Gotta love that. New spell is available in the Tome of Offense as well as the Tome of Cubomancy. The Tome of Offense has Bloom Bolt. On a cooldown of 6, 2 times a turn, deal 6 damage, increase by 2 for each 6 rolled this combat. Wow. Also, kill 10 enemies with Banefire is the next next unlock condition. We'll see whether or not that happens. Tome of Cubomancy, Liquefy. On a 7 countdown, 1 charge, if the enemy has 25 health or less, kill instantly. Oh, you can upgrade it to do it to an enemy with 50 health or less, or you can give it a 2nd charge and give it the ability to kill enemies with 35 health or less. Interesting. Honestly, I am very eager to play with Liquefy. There's also roll 200 sixes is the next Tome of Cubomancy pickup. For the moment, though, my name is Rhapsody. The name of the game has been defending until the enemies poison and die about that. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourself. Serious playlist in the top left, scrolling past, and the names of the people so generously supporting the Republic on patreon.com/RhapsodyPlays. Out of the thank you, and a special thanks episode to Victor. Hopefully you'll have been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you all next time.